So yesterday we find out that President Carter has cancer. He's 90 years old, and it is in several parts of his body. So obviously a lot of people are concerned about that, and most people wrote in with support, including, for example, Vice President Joe Biden. He tweeted out, spoke with President Jimmy Carter tonight, a great man, always upbeat and optimistic. We're praying for him. So that makes sense. That's how people normally handle things. Not so for Fox News and other conservatives. On that same day, they tweeted out from Charles Hurt, our country has not been as aimless and lost as it is today since, I think, Jimmy Carter. It's probably even worse today. So, now look, I think they should have been a little bit more sensitive about this. I hope to God that they didn't realize that he had cancer that day and then sent out that message. Let's hope that it was a mistake. For others, clearly not a mistake. Clearly they did know. For example, Debbie Schlussel, who is a pathetic conservative who does things like this. She put out a message saying, a cancer has cancer. Oops, I mean Jimmy Carter has cancer. Same difference. And then she thought she was being clever with a hashtag a cancer with cancer. She's amazing, man. She thinks she's funny like that. She thinks that's a joke. Ha ha. You know, cancer, oh, I mean Jimmy Carter. Yeah, you're repulsive, man. All right, one more from Debbie Schlussel. And I'm going to tell you what Jimmy Carter is actually about. She said, only the good die young. Jimmy Carter, 90, has cancer. So sad. Too bad. A cancer has cancer, etc. Who says about somebody else who's got cancer, ha ha, too bad, so sad, got you. Repulsive. Okay. Now, I know through other things that I've unfortunately been subjected to, Debbie Schlussel's opinions on Israel. She's a big, big supporter. Let's find out, let's go through Jimmy Carter's record here and see if that winds up being relevant. Okay, first of all, what did he do as president? He created 2 cabinet-level departments, including the Department of Energy and the Department of Education. Sounds like a pretty good record. He established a national energy policy. God knows we needed one. He signed the Camp David Accords, a formal peace treaty between Israel and Egypt. Now, a lot of right-wingers get on Carter for, being weak and not having an effective foreign policy. And now, lately, they say because he had the temerity, the unmitigated gall to criticize some of the right-wing policies of the current Israeli government, which makes sense since he's not a right-winger. Jimmy Carter is on the left wing. So he thinks their right wing is as misguided as our right wing, right? They think, oh, he's anti-Israel. He's the only one that gave Israel peace. He eliminated their top enemy. Egypt had the biggest military. Egypt had been in several wars with Israel at that point. He turned them from an enemy into an ally, and that has held for decades. For 40 years, he eliminated Israel's top enemy and turned it into an ally. No one's done more for Israel than Jimmy Carter. Cancer has cancer. These people are sick, man. And get it right on Jimmy Carter. He's an amazing human being. So, more from what he did. He signed the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, SALT II, Nuclear Arms Reduction Treaty. Oh, got rid of some nuclear weapons. Weak. By the way, later they would brag that Reagan did similar things. He created the EPA Love Canal Superfund law so that if people were poisoning your neighborhood, there'd be a way to clean that up. And then after he was no longer president, he set up the Carter Center. Among the many wonderful things they've done is that they eliminated more than 99% of the cases of guinea worm disease. They're going to wipe it off the face of the earth. One of the very few diseases that's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Guinea worm is something that would enter your body through the water that you drank. It affected a lot of places in Africa and in other poor nations as well. So it didn't get a lot of attention. And the parasite would enter your body, would grow into a 3 to 6 foot worm, and then burrow through your skin, create a hole, and then leave your body, the whole 3 to 6 feet. It was one of the most painful things you can go through. Then it would create infections, and oftentimes it would kill people. And I asked him in an interview I did with Jimmy Carter, why did you decide to focus on this? Because he said nobody else was. A lot of people are working on cancer, a lot of people are working on AIDS, which is a great thing that they're working on those things. But nobody was going to help those people, so I decided if they're not going to step up, we'll step up and we'll go help them. And he did. And he saved millions and millions of people, all of the suffering that they would have gone through, all the adverse health effects, and saved at least thousands of lives, right? But then for Fox News, for Debbie Schlussel, for conservatives, ha ha, yeah, you have cancer, ha ha, we got you. Gee, I wonder who are the good guys in this country and who are the bad guys. One guy gives you peace and protects our allies for a long, long time, and then cures the planet of diseases, and they think he's the bad guy.